This Basics of Risk Management series is brought to you by Risk Garage. Part 5. Planning and Implementing Risk Response. In the first few videos, we have talked about the risk management process. Also, we have discussed goal setting, risk identification, and risk assessment. After assessing and ranking the risks, we will next plan responses to tackle the risks. Risk responses are also known as risk mitigations. Before going further, let's recap the three-part risk statement. The three-part risk statement explains the context of a risk, i.e. cause, risk event, and consequence, in a structured way. And we can put them into a bow tie diagram, which has causes on the left, risk event in the middle, and consequences on the right. It helps us plan effective risk responses against the causes, or consequences. The risk responses tackling the causes are known as preventive responses, as they try to minimize the probability of risk occurrence. Those responses tackling the consequences are tagged as recovery responses. This type of responses tries to lower the risk impact. There are several risk response strategies for threats, and for opportunities. For threats, they are reduce, avoid, transfer, and accept. Let us zoom into these strategies. Strategy number 1, reduce risk. Most of the risk responses belong to this strategy. The responses normally reduce the probability of occurrence, or the impact of risk. The responses aim at reducing these risk attributes to the acceptable level. Taking early risk reduction action is always more effective than trying to recover after the occurrence of the risk. Strategy number 2, avoid risk. This risk strategy often involves the change of project plan or scope to avoid certain risks. However, this approach is sometimes viewed as impractical as the risks of other nature will emerge, and the changes may cause substantial cost escalation. The most passive action to avoid risk is to cancel the project plan. Strategy number 3, transfer risk. The risk is transferred from a party to another contractual. A normal practice in some industries is to transfer the accident risk that has severe impact but low likelihood to the insurance companies. The insurance companies will then impose an insurance premium based on their evaluation of the risk impact and probability of occurrence. Risk can also be transferred partially to another party through the formation of joint venture, or the use of target cost contract. Strategy number 4, accept risk. A risk will only be retained if it cannot be reduced, avoided, or transferred cost-effectively. Also, if the risk only incurs repetitive but minor loss, it should be absorbed by the risk owners, who have sufficient finances to withstand the impacts. This is because the cost of transferring it to the insurance company may not be economical. Regular monitoring is required to ensure that the damage can be reduced to minimum when the risks occur. Opportunities, or positive risks, are those that can enhance value. Therefore, the goal of the responses is to materialize them. And they can be grouped into 4 types of strategy, which are enhance, exploit, share, and accept. Strategy number 1, enhance opportunity. Compared to reduce risk strategy, the enhance strategy is to improve the probability of occurrence and the positive impact of the opportunity. In order to effectively implement this strategy, it is necessary to understand its cause, event, and consequence. Strategy number 2, exploit opportunity. This response strategy tries to remove uncertainties associated with the opportunity and ensure the opportunity would happen. A simple example is to get the competent people to work on it. Another example is to upgrade the facilities or technology to improve the prospect of the opportunity. Strategy number 3, share opportunity. This strategy is to form partnership with a person or company which is equipped with the essential skill to benefit the work scope. The partnership allows the right skills from the involved parties to be put in use in order to materialize the opportunity. Strategy number 4, accept opportunity. This is also known as do-nothing strategy. Basically, whether the opportunity will take place or not, we will just accept the outcome. No plan will be undertaken to pursue it. In order to plan and implement an effective risk response, the response plan should be SMART, which stand for specific, measurable, assignable, realistic, and time-related. Also, each and every one of the risk responses should have an owner. The owner is accountable for planning and executing the responses. He or she must have good understanding of the risk attributes. When the risk responses are being implemented, their status should be consistently reviewed. The risk focal points can suggest to increase resources if the responses start losing momentum. Any overdue risk responses must be seriously addressed. The risk responses sometimes could trigger other risks, which are known as secondary risks. Therefore, contingency plans would need to be put in place if the secondary risks are foreseen. Hope you have learned some good risk response planning tips from this video. If you have other good practice, could you please leave me a comment? Thank you, and see you again.